This partnership will be
Fueron dos
give
razones
us the
fundamentales
opportunity to
que
really apply the win-win philosophy.
До применения модели химического лизинга мы сталкивались с экономическими проблемами.
The process of industrialization brings economic growth and prosperity to the society. But it also brings problems that have to be solved urgently. Unsustainable management of chemical products causes damages to the environment. Using traditional business models, the chemical industry has little interest in reducing the volumes of the products they sell because this directly reduces their revenues. Therefore, a new approach is required. Based on the experience of its cleaner production program, UNIDO plays a leading role in the further development of a new business model, chemical leasing. With chemical leasing, the focus is no longer on the sale of chemical products in terms of volume or weight. It shifts from the current practice of selling products to selling services with environmentally and economically sound benefits. The supplier of chemicals sells the function that the chemical product performs and takes over responsibility for the use of the chemical, its recycling and its treatment and disposal. Chemical leasing is based on proper benefit sharing. If a chemical is to be used for painting, the user does not have to pay for the quantity of paint, but for the amount of pieces or surface painted. The amount of chemicals turns from a factor of earnings to a cost driver for the supplier. This model directs the economic interests of all partners towards process optimization and sustainable chemical management. This leads to risk reduction for humans and environment and creates an economic win-win situation for both supplier and user. As a pilot project on chemical leasing in Austria showed successful results, UNIDO decided to start other projects in Egypt, Mexico, and Russia, with the support of the Austrian government. UNIDO promotes the model of chemical leasing via the national cleaner production centres in the respective countries.
How do we get access to the enterprises? Well, first of all, we contact companies that already cooperate with us on cleaner production projects and look for possibilities to implement chemical leasing. Another approach is to get information from service companies, as well as research and development organizations about enterprises suitable for chemical leasing projects. Then, we contact the management of these enterprises and visit them to determine their real potential and prospects for the implementation of chemical leasing.
One good example of successful implementation of the chemical leasing concept can be found in Egypt. Akzo Nobel Powder Coatings SAE is a joint venture of the Egyptian company Kotek and Akzo Nobel. The company provides, for instance, chemicals to ABB Arab, an engineering company. Both partners participate in cleaner production programs and are now working on the introduction of chemical leasing. This leads to further process improvements. The supplier developed a new powder for electrostatic powder coating. This product is more efficient and therefore reduces the amount of losses. Applying the chemical leasing model, a new basis of payment was agreed upon.
The basis of payment before the chemical leasing was per kilogram of coating powder. Under the chemical leasing, the payment will be per square meter of coating final product.
The supplier supervises and manages the whole stream of powder coating in ABB. The waste goes back to the supplier and is reused in the production line as raw material. The supplier achieved a reduction of powder loss from 13 to 4% and launched an efficient system for recycling. The annual savings were $60,000. But also, the supplier benefits in different ways. Chemical leasing leads to long-term partnerships and job creation.
This partnership will give us the opportunity to really apply the win-win philosophy, where we are winning, ABB is winning. The resultant will be a lower cost per square meter. It will allow ABB to investigate other products from within our range. It will allow us to provide other products based on innovation. It will allow us to provide products with higher value. It will allow us to attain the loyalty and continuity of supply that we are seeking with ABB.
Mexico is also implementing pilot projects of chemical leasing. Mardian Corporation is a small Mexican company specializing in providing chemicals to the electroplating industry. One of the materials used in the metal plating process is nickel, an expensive and highly polluting metal, dangerous for the environment and the health of workers. Mardi has been doing research in methods to reduce the consumption of nickel for many years. One of its clients is Cromadora Delgado, a small chrome plating enterprise.
I had two important reasons to participate in this project. The first one was to gain control over one of my raw materials, nickel and its brightness. And the other one was to reduce production costs to be more competitive in the market.
The supplier, Mardian Corporation, developed a new method of metal plating in which pure nickel is replaced by a ferro-nickel alloy. The business partners decided to combine this new process with the new business model of chemical leasing. The supplier does not just sell the new chemical, it provides a full range of services to its client.
We also assist our clients because many of them don't know exactly how to optimize our products, and so it's our duty to provide them with specific assistance. We don't just sell them our products, we go to their plant and implement the final process they need, and we give them advice on the adequate maintenance.
The user doesn't pay any longer for litres of used chemicals. Unit for payment is now the consumption of the brightener measured in ampere hours by an indicator of operation in the bath. As measured by the Cleaner Production Center during the monitoring of the operation, the nickel used in the production process was reduced by 22%. This lowered the production cost significantly and brought economical benefits for both business partners. And it also had positive side effects for the environment and the safety of the workers. A third country where pilot projects on chemical leasing are implemented is Russia. Henkel Era is a large producer of industrial and household glues. But this industry produces a lot of chemical waste which goes into the wastewater. So the wastewater needs to be treated to protect the environment from dangerous substances. An expensive process.
До применения модели химического лизинга
Before the application of chemical leasing, we faced economic problems, particularly related to the growing expenses for wastewater treatment.
затрат на очистку сточных вод.
We were also suffering from ecological problems related to the impact of the wastewater from the whole plant.
Большая нагрузка приходилась на общезаводские очистные сооружения.
The wastewater treatment at Henkel Era is carried out by the Russian company ERG. ERG is a micro-enterprise which provides equipment, chemicals and know-how for the application. The company installed a new production line for the industrial glues that generates highly concentrated wastewater. With the traditional business model, the costs for wastewater treatment turned out to be very high for the user. So the business partners decided to start with chemical leasing. And again, the new business model goes along with process optimization. This new model allowed the supplier to implement an improved and more efficient treatment method. The resulting decrease of chemical consumption does not lead to economic losses for ERG. The user pays for the amount of the treated wastewater instead of the amount of supplied chemicals. The close business relationship also requires a lot of trust and confidence between the business partners.
The implementation of this business model became possible due to long-time effective business relations and our trust of each other. For us, it is profitable since we can fully explore our technical know-how without any risk of economic losses.
The amount of chemicals and filter packs in the treatment process were reduced significantly. The costs per cubic meter water cleaned decreased. The business model encouraged the introduction of technical innovations. Chemical leasing improves the economic performance of participating companies, reducing risks for humans and environment. The suppliers provide better and safer chemicals with a higher efficiency. It leads to technical innovations and exchange of know-how. Chemical leasing fosters continuous improvement and long-term partnerships among companies, in which the cleaner production centres have an important monitoring and quality assurance role. It is an important tool for sustainable industrial development and is promoted through UNIDO's worldwide cleaner production programme.